Hey guys, how's it going? In today's video, I want to talk about how to get rich off the stock market and what it requires. And yeah, so let's begin. So I just want to tell you guys that not everyone is meant to be rich. Not everyone has the desire to be rich. It's not easy to be rich, and you could win the lotto. You could win the lotto and get rich, but getting rich, building your rich, like being basically climbing from nothing to becoming rich is not easy. It requires risk. It requires a lot of work in order to get there. So I'm a cheap ass. I'm the cheapest person you will ever run across. I'm very, very cheap. I've been less cheap now, but I used to be extremely cheap. My friends crown me the king of cheap asses. I was so cheap. I was extremely cheap. Like, I'm just a very cheap person in general. I've been raised like that, and that's how I am. I also worked, not only that I was a cheap ass, I also worked 2 jobs 7 days a week with overtime. So I was working consistently. I was saving all that money, and I invested it into the stock market. I took all the money that I saved up, I invest every single dime and penny, everything I could find, into the stock market. In 2012, Diablo was released. Everyone's probably aware of this story multiple times, but I just kind of want to go over it for the new people. So on May 15, 2012, Diablo was released, but I heard of this news way before Diablo's, because they usually hype the game up before they release it. So I heard of this around like November, or I think even earlier than that, and I at like October 2011. So I got excited for Diablo. I heard about it, opened up a trading account, and I bought the stock at the highest point in around October 31st, 2011. I bought it around 13-ish dollars, around $13 around this high point, and then the stock dropped on me, and then I had to beg hold it for a while. And then even though Diablo got released around May 5th, I was still beg holding. May 5th, 2000, so that the stock was around $12.20. I was beg holding it for a while. The stock dropped all the way down to $11, $10 ish. I was, at that point I was still I still bought in, but at this point most of my money was already in Activision Blizzard. And then it popped, and then I got emotional because the stock, like, I bought the stock at $13 and the stock went all the way down to $10, and then it popped all the way to $14. I got emotional. I sold off half or possibly more. I can't remember the exact date. And then but back then, around 2011, 2012, it was a good time because the US and Canadian dollar were very, very similar. So I was basically converting every single Canadian dollar I had into US dollars so I can buy Activision Blizzard, because I'm crazy. I wanted to get rich. I thought to myself that I looked at Activision's financial report. They were profitable, and they had great games, and they were considered the #1 company in the gaming industry. So I was thinking that this company was extremely undervalued, and it will have a nice pop, and it would be worth like $50, $60, $70 in like 5 to 10 years, possibly $100 in 5 to 10 years. And I was right, but I got emotional and I sold off, and but so I mean I didn't lose any money on Activision Blizzard. I did make some money off Activision Blizzard, but I mean, if I hold it on longer, I would have made more money. But regardless, I still found my next big winner right after. So at this point, I was full in US dollars. I didn't have any Canadian dollars. I had a little bit because I was still working, and Canadian dollars was still pouring into my account because of my jobs. But around November 15, 2013, I heard, there was an announcement of the PlayStation 4 launching, and I found AMD. So when I was I was watching the press conference around, like, I think it was like February 1st, around this time frame, around February 1st, 22nd. And then I was doing my research on, PlayStation 4, and I found that AMD was the person behind the chips for PlayStation 4. And then I knew that the Xbox 360, AMD was also a client of the Xbox 360. So I decided to gamble the fact that, Microsoft and PlayStation, well, I knew PlayStation 4 had AMD product in it, but I was also gambling that Microsoft would do the same thing. And I was right. And I put I literally put most of my money back into I had some money out of the sideboard, but I put probably 90% of my money into AMD because I was thinking that AMD could have I was thinking that AMD will have a pop from the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One game released. And I was right, it did pop. And then I was thinking that around here, AMD was going to recover in stock price and skyrocket it. I told, when AMD stock was around this price point, I was telling everyone that AMD will make you rich. But people were, looking at the stock price and they're like, oh, it's $2. Oh, what if the company goes bankrupt? What happened if like that? People were not willing to take risk, even though I told them, like, oh, I think AMD could, recover as a company. They could do this and that, and I think it was a good investment at $2, and nobody listened to me. Nobody bought in. Nobody listened to me. I was right at the first point, and then I was thinking the company was going to recover, but the exact opposite happened. The PlayStation was nothing more than a boost. It basically helped the company survive. And I knew that they had like a Zen architecture on, but I was holding long term. I had my mindset on long term investment. I was thinking this company will recover, but it didn't. It just kept, it just stabilized, and then suddenly the company crashed because it ran into problems. The current CEO Reed Royce got fired and got replaced by Dr. Lisa Su, and the company was having problems, and then it dropped all the way back down, and it went even to the low 180. Well, I was when it dropped to like below $2, I was actually buying more and averaging in and buying more because I knew that the company wasn't going to go bankrupt. I knew Intel and Nvidia would never allow AMD to go bankrupt. That's what my thought process was. And then I also knew that AMD had a processor called Zen in development, and I was gambling on the fact that Zen will be be a success and make me a lot of money. So I was just holding my money, and I was just holding my stocks. So and then I was gambling on the fact that Zen was going to be a success, their new architecture, and so I was holding on. I was thinking that maybe I'll sell out when the stock went up to $4. Zen came out with great performance, and the stock was skyrocketing. And I was like, I decided to hold out longer than $4 because, I was thinking that, AMD could do very well with this new architecture. So the stock started skyrocketing. I just kept holding and holding and holding. Right around here, AMD had like a stock dilution, and they raised $1 billion through the stock capitalization. Is it more than? It was more than $1 billion. I can't remember. I freaked out. I sold off most of my shares, and then I bought back in when it started rising back around $6.91. I sold off around like $7 ish. I sold off all my shares. The stock dropped, and then I saw the stock recovering, and then I was taking into consideration that, you know, they just raised a bunch of capital, so they're very liquid. They have a lot of money, so the company's going to survive. Their new Zen architecture is getting a lot of hype. There was artificial intelligence talks in the market. They had, you know, new GPU products coming out, and there was the talks of artificial intelligence. So I decided to buy all my shares back, and then the stock just took off and rose all the way to $10, $11. Yeah, so it rose all the way to $11, and then, you know, well, around here I was kind of freaking out because I knew that, you know, there was a possibility the stock could tank back to $4 or even $2. So at this point I was trying to open up my business, and I was trying to open up my virtual reality arcade so I can diversify my money into something else. So I was spending months and lots of investigation to open up VR, and you know, I was almost about to open it, and then around December 12th, no, I think it was like December 18th or 19th, AMD was around 11. It was around $11 or $10 or something, above $10, like $11. And my friend was telling me that, you know, Aurora, this was the time frame. I think it was around, let's see, hold on. It was around December 17th, 2016. I think it was around this date, because this is, I remember seeing a price tag around here. My friend, you know, he texted me, he told me about Aurora Cannabis building a facility at the Aurora Sky, at the Edmonton International Airport. And then I found that you could invest into Aurora. I got excited. I knew that this company was still very, very new. I got excited. I thought that, you know, investing into Aurora would be way better than opening up my own business, because I believe that you know, if cannabis became very legal, these companies will make way more money than I could ever dream of opening up my own small private virtual reality arcade. So what I did was I sold off a majority chunk of my AMD stock, and I gathered up $250,000, and I invested into Aurora around $237. I didn't invest all of it right away. I invested like chunks and chunks, and into Aurora. A lot of people told me, what the fuck am I doing? Aurora can go back to like 50 cents, 60 cents. I took that into account. I knew that there's a possibility it would go to 50 cents, but I still had money, right? I still had money with AMD. I still had money, right? So I was like, okay, you know what? No, that's the risk I'm playing. There's a possibility the stock would drop down to 50 cents. I said that, I just told myself that if it does, I'll just buy more. I'll just go all in if it ever drops down to 50 cents, because my return on investment would be massive. But it never did. It just, you know, it kind of just stabilized around $2. And on top of that, I was telling everyone that Aurora was gonna make me a millionaire. I didn't think it was gonna make me a multi-millionaire, but I knew that Aurora was gonna make me a millionaire. I was telling everyone. I was telling all my friends, my family. Even though I had a successful experience with AMD, people were still not listening to me. Nobody listened to me. Everyone was like saying, "Oh, it's too risky, too risky." and nobody listened to me. Nobody wanted to invest. I mean, I wouldn't say nobody listened to me. I'm saying that majority of the people that I told did not care, did not listen to me, ignored me. I was telling everybody, open up a trading account, get into Aurora before it's too late. That was what I was telling everyone. I even started up a YouTube channel. Hold on. YouTube. I made this video. I spent lots of time and effort. Wow, 24 likes only. I made this video on June 5th, 2017. I thought Aurora was the best investment ever. At that point, I had about $500,000 into Aurora. So I made that on June 5th, 2017. June 5th, 2017. Aurora was around like $2-ish, $3-ish. I was telling everyone that Aurora was the best company ever. I had $500,000 invested into it. I was spreading it throughout the stock house. I was, like, if you guys don't aware, I was spamming it everywhere. And when Aurora started rising, that's when people started buying in. People didn't start buying in when it was $2. People started buying in when the stock rose up here. Like, my friend is more bullish on Aurora at this price point than he was when Aurora was $2 or $3. So I forced him to buy in around $2. I forced him to buy 15,000, and he sold out. He sold out just before the stock rose. He sold out around $3. Just before the stock skyrocketed all the way up to like $14. He's still kicking himself till today. But I made him buy about, I think I made him put about $15,000. He knew I had $500,000 invested into Aurora, but yet he was still on the fence about investing all his money into Aurora. I told him that he should be investing all his money into Aurora. It will make him rich. And he was still concerned. He's like, oh, what if the company goes bankrupt? Or what if the stock drops to nothing? I'm just like, oh my god, you cannot make money if you don't take risk. So, people that don't take risk, you're not going to make money. I took risk. I knew deep down in my heart that Aurora was going to make me rich. I didn't expect it to go to $14. I was thinking that long term it could go up to like $3, $4, $5, $6. And then when the Aurora Sky was completed, it would be like $8. But no, it just skyrocketed. It got, it got pumped the crap out of. And now the stock is worth, like $7.12. Could Aurora drop back down to here down? No, the company is, the company has diluted. If it dropped back down to like $2 or $3, it would be worth $2 or $3 billion. That would kind of undervalue the company with all the assets that it's gathered. But if the stock market really crashes badly, there's a possibility the stock could drop back down to $2 or $3. I'm not advocating it will, but I'm just saying that there's a possibility. But I believe that rich investors will back it up to the point where it will not drop down to the $2 to $3, even if the real stock market crashed. At least this is my opinion. Yeah, but you need to take risk to make money. And then I decided to do some day trading. I did this experiment. I decided, okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna do some day trading. So I was just like buying random weed companies and buying it and selling it every time I was profitable, doing swing trading, day trading. I noticed that day trading sucks because it's like, oh, I made $500 a day, oh, I made $1,000 a day. When Aurora goes up $1, I can potentially make $100,000, or if it goes down $1, I lose $100,000. So swing trading for me was complete waste of time. I was experimenting, but it was kind of good at the same time because it helped me. It made me research companies that I would never do if I wasn't swing trading or day trading. But swing trading and day trading sucks. This is from my experience. It's very hard to make money off swing trading and day trading. It's better to be a long-term investor and just go big into a company and just wait it and ride it out and try to buy as low as possible. That's the best method. Swing trading is also, I find, very, very hard because sometimes you could sell out and the stock could keep rising, or you know, you could buy and the stock will keep dropping, and you will have to wait months before. And then averaging down on swing trading is also horrible too. It's a bad idea because you could average down and the stock could keep dropping. And since we were in such a bear cannabis market, it was very hard to average down. It was better just to take a loss, wait until the stock dropped, and then buy back in. But regardless, it's really hard to swing trade and day trade. That's what I find, and the rewards are not that great. It's like, oh, I made a few $100s here, a few $100s there. But if Aurora, like when I did have 100,000 shares of Aurora or 160,000 shares of Aurora, every dollar Aurora went up or down, I made $160,000 or lost $160,000 because I had 160,000 shares. I find it better to just be a long-term investor. That's how Warren Buffett made his money. And then I decided to do some option trading. Option trading is fun, but I still am a noob. I still don't understand it, and I need to do more research on it. Like, it's very, very confusing to me. Like, it was weird because, like, okay, here's an example. I bought Disney. I call option on Disney. The stock rose like 2% or 3%, and I was up like 400%. Did not make any sense to me. I don't understand why I made 400%. And then I did the same method. I bought in Disney in again, and then the stock went up 2%, 3%, and I'm up 40% now. So why was the first time I bought in Disney, I was up 400%, and then the second time I bought into Disney, I was up 40%? It makes no sense to me. This market, the option trading makes no sense to me. I don't get it. I don't understand why the hell. Like, I don't understand how it works. Like, I don't understand the numbers behind it. I completely don't understand it at all. But I think I'm gonna be trying to like read books on it, do more, watch more videos on it, maybe take a course on it. Just figure out what the fuck option trading doing. Even pro option traders, like I don't think they even understand. Like the guy from what's his name? Trading Fernality. This guy got rich off, you know, long-term investing and option trading. And like, I'm watching his live stream, he doesn't even kind of understand. He's like, oh, why am I only up 100% on Amazon? And then one day he would be like, oh, I'm up like 1,300% on Amazon, and I only bought I only buy the $100 of a call option. Like he doesn't even explain why that he's up like that much. I don't get it. He doesn't even seem to get it, but he's still playing option trading. So I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't understand option trading. I don't understand why it's so weird, why it fluctuates all the time, why it's always changing. I have no idea. I've been watching this guy for a while, and while he's doing his live option trading, and he's always complaining about, oh, I'm only up 100% on my Amazon calls, and then one day he'll be like, oh, I'm up like 1,300% on my Amazon calls, and then it's just like what? Like, why are you up 1,300%? And then you know, a few days ago you said you know, you only up 100% on another call, and you don't understand why you only up 100%. Like, he doesn't even understand why he's up 100%, or he can't explain why he's up 1,300%. So option trading is very confusing. I simply do not understand it. And right now, we could be in a stock market crash. If this was the scenario, and the market does actually crash, it's like, I mean, some people are saying no, the stock market will never crash. Like Brendan Beavis, he was like, oh, the market's not crashing, the market's fine. All this stuff that they're talking on the internet, on YouTube, is complete bullshit. The stock market will never crash. It won't crash. I was like, the stock market might not crash. This might be a false. It might just rally up to 30,000. I mean, the stock market might eventually crash. But what I want to point out to is, if you gambled on a stock market crash, let's say if you had a bunch of cash out and you eyed a bunch of companies, some good companies that that you think will return your money a lot, and you waited until the market crashed hard, and then you went all in on these multiple companies that that you think is good companies, and you waited and you were patient. You waited until the stock market crashed, and then you invested all your money into these companies, the safe companies that you think that will return your investment in the long term, and you were correct on the stock market crash. You can make so much money. You can turn hundreds of thousands of dollars into millions of dollars, but you would need to rely on a stock market crash to happen. And you need to invest into the right company at the right time when the stock market crashes. It's not as easy as you can say. Even if, let's say, if Apple crashed, Apple will not make you rich. Because, like, let's say if you gamble on the stock market crashing and Apple going to maybe possibly $100, even let's say if Apple went to like $50, $60, right? And you bought big time into Apple. Let's say you put $200,000 into Apple at $60, $50. Even if the stock went back to $200, you only 4 times your money. So you turn that $200,000 into $800,000. So you're still not going to, you're still not going to get rich off Apple. Apple is not going to get you rich. Apple is more of a safe dividend play. So it's not a company that will make you rich. A company that will make you rich would be like NBEV. If let's say if you bought NBEV at like even like $2 or the low $2, like let's say you were like, you found this company early and you bought it in at $2. I don't think it'll ever drop back down to $2 even in the market crash. All you can really do is hope that like this stock drops down to like $3 ish, below $3. That would be, yeah. So let's say the stock dropped down to $3 and you said that you believe in this company in the long term. You think that this company become a multi-billion-dollar company, and you say that within the next 2 to 3 years it could become a multi-billion-dollar company. It could rival Coke or Monster Energy or whatever. And you gamble on the business succeeding and become a multi-billion-dollar company. If you bought it at $3, if this company became $1 billion, the stock price would be worth $12, $13, $14, $15, possibly $20. Like if it went over $1 billion, like $1.5 billion, this company would be worth over $20. You bought it at $3. You put all your investment into the company at $3. This could 5 times your money, 10 times your money in the course of 2 or 3 years, and you could be laughing at a company like NBEV could make you super rich if you were a long-term holder investor on it. You could try to swing trade it. You could try to, time it. You're never gonna become a millionaire swing trading NBEV. The best way to become a billionaire of NBEV is to gamble on the business long term and to make, but not a lot of people are willing to do that. Not a lot of people are willing to throw all their money into a company, wait it out 2 or 3 years, and hope it makes them a millionaire. Not a lot of people are willing to do that. That's why I'm saying that not a lot of people can be rich in the stock market. You have to time it right. You have to buy it at the right price, and you have to gamble that the business will be successful. That's how I got rich. I invested into AMD when people were talking about AMD. I invested into AMD when there was a lot of talks about the company going bankrupt. There was a lot of talks about, possibility of the company filing bankruptcy. I didn't believe it was true. I thought it was just hot air, people talking about bankruptcy. I looked at the balance sheet. It did not look like the company was going to go bankrupt. I know the company had problems, but I didn't think the company was going to go bankrupt because Intel and Nvidia would have had a monopoly, and the government would never allow that. So I knew that AMD was going to survive, and I knew that they had a chip in process, like a chip that they've been developing for years, put billions of dollars into it, and got a master, like a genius. What's his name? I forgot his name, but he was the one that that kicked Intel's ass back in 2008 with the architecture, with the A8. I don't know. This guy's super smart. He came in, he made AMD a really awesome processor technology, and then after he made it, he left the company. So yeah, they brought in a genius. I gambled that the company was going to recover. I gambled on the company was going to be successful with the Zen architecture. I took risk. I took gamble. That's how I made my money. The best way to make a lot of money is to take risk. To take risk when the company looks like it's about to bankrupt. The company looks like, and you do your research and you're like, oh, you know what? I don't think the company is going to go bankrupt. I think the company is going to reverse itself. I think the company is going to do well in the future. That's the gamble you need to take in order to become rich. You need to take that kind of step forward. You need to think far into the future. You can't think short term. That's how I find that I made the most money. Day trading, swing trading, option trading is not gonna. Option trading can make you rich, but it's very hard. It's very hard to make money off option trading, but option trading could make you rich. But anyways, this video has been long enough. Thanks for watching, guys. Wow, 32 minutes and 49 seconds. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe for future updates and have a great day. Bye.